four-man mosh pit followed by Entomb. Oh no!
Oh, a huge light bomb coming in on the Genji, and that's a 5-man light bomb. They're gonna follow up, and they're gonna get 1, 2, 3 kills.
And it's gonna be everybody dying. Oh my God! When does this happen? Everybody's dead.
G'day and welcome to another Nexus Gaming Series livecast. I'm actually being able to get 2 of these in a row, which is a great difference considering don't usually get to do so, but unfortunately that may come to an end soon enough, but at least for now I'll be getting these in live. So today we have Division C West game of Roll1 Esports facing off against Bork side of the moon. Roll1 Esports had banned out these maps of Volskaya, Foundry, and Praxis Holdout. Both, I guess they don't like Overwatch and StarCraft. They're more fans of other games, I assume. And meanwhile, Bork Side of the Moon banned out Cursed Hollow and Garden of Terror, citing, and I quote, "We don't like that map," which, understandable. Because honestly, not many people do like playing on Garden of Terror nor Praxis. I think they're 2 least picked maps. I think they're some of the most banned maps. And Dragonshire was actually picked by Roll1 Esports. So I can see they are just getting ready still. It's just only one team to fully ready up. But this should be a fun one. Both these series, my team, Greg, has played already. I know actually Bork Side of the Moon had took the series of us while we took the series of Roll1 Esports. However, Roll1 is top of the table while Bork Side of the Moon is just a little bit under them. I don't know where exactly, though it should still be a good series to say the least. So I'm definitely looking forward to see where this goes, and as I think it should be a pretty good clash between these 2 teams. We're just waiting on them. Hopefully it won't take too much longer. And I do know that... Oh? No, not quite yet. Never mind. It's just sitting there going, oh, yep. I can see words. Nothing's being said there, but there's definitely words. Oh. I'm sure we'll hear something from the teams eventually. I always go like, oh, yep, everyone's in. I can see one team said ready. Let's get it rolling just in case. But nope, of course not. So I'm sure we'll see something soon enough. As I just sit here twiddling my thumbs going, is there anything that I can quite go over outside of what I've already talked about? I have actually casted both these teams. I didn't quite play them, I wasn't there, but it does look like one team is still needing another minute or so. So just give them their time. No need to rush them all that much. I say all that much is a loose term, but hey, what can I do? I'm just here talking. I'm not the one playing it myself. Which, thank God, I'm not quite in the moment to play at... Well, I'm not quite in the position to play at the moment. I don't know how to phrase that. It's a bad sentence structure that I've already put out. Okay, it looks like both teams are ready, so we may be getting rolling in just a few moments here. Yep, it looks like we're being counted in. So we'll change it over just a few moments, because I know that the custom game launcher likes taking its sweet time between clicking start game and actually getting the game started, well, the lobby started. It's a fun feature it decides to have, which, a bit annoying, but not the end of the world. It's alright to wait for perfectionism, but there we go. Dragonshire is going, so let's get into the draft. So Dragonshire, Roll1 Esports lost the coin toss. They were home team, they got coin toss, and the side of Bork Side of the Moon did choose first pick. So that's where we see map pick was indeed picked by the side of Roll1 Esports. So Bork Side of the Moon, first ban Dragonshire. Are you going to get rid of something like Brightwing, Rexar? Those are pretty common bans on this map, especially if you have a Rexar player on the opposite. And you're like, actually, let's not deal with the bear and friend, because, well, it's a dangerous setup to say the least, as it's actually quite hard to beat out. There's only a few kind of counters, let's say. And actually we see a Nubarak is the first one banned. Still pretty good. I wonder if we're going to see a tank choke or anything like that. Or maybe it is the tanks of Roll1 Esports best tank. I did the scouting, I should actually know. But we see Sylvanas is banned out by Roll1 Esports. Much quicker ban there than we got from Bork Side of the Moon. So a little bit more decisiveness, maybe. Both teams have done their scouting, but one maybe a little bit more onto it than the other. Bit hard to tell from here. Obviously, can't hear what the teams are saying. There's 5 seconds left on this ban. What are we going to get? An ETC ban, yep. So we are getting a tank choke by the side of Bork, side of the moon. Fair enough. It's a decent strategy. I've seen it work for many teams. It's worked for teams I've played for. It definitely works when I was still playing 30 seconds to Mosh. They don't quite know what we've been banning as much for Team Greg as well. I haven't been there, but we do see Hogger is banned, so we just see a bit more target picks in general for Bork Side of Moon. For Roll1 Esports, while Bork Side of Moon is definitely focusing that tank role. And we see Anduin is picked up first, which, fair. Anduin, in the last series we cast, saw got a lot of value with that trait. He was able to pull people out of the blow-up varying combo consistently. And that kept the team in it longer than I thought it would be. But we do now see double pick coming through. We see Stukov picked up. Very strong choice. The silence of a point can be deadly. And Lunara. Now Lunara's a fun hero that I am bad at. Especially because I know her build has changed from that poison to the burst build. So we get that choking pollen at 7. Which I love. I should get a bit more consistent with it if I really want to play her. But it's still a fun one to use. Right, next 2 picks. This may probably set kind of the tone of where we're going for this match. Matt, is it going to be like Bacon and Yatre picking? Matlock, Joanna, and Blaze tank. And, yep, Yatre, Blaze, Matlock, Joanna. So, pretty safe picks, very standard tank offlane there. Blaze becoming one of my favorite offlaners to play. And Joe just being their ever-present front line. So I think it may have almost been a misstep for Roll1 Esports to not pick their Pank? That's just not even a real word. Tank in that first half of the draft. But I guess we'll have to see what happens as well. We're getting into the next ban phase, and we see that Hanzo is banned out. Okay, so getting a little bit of that combo potential. They're not quite wanting to see any blue bacon, as one of my friends call it, that dragon strike, nor the dragon arrow stun, as they both can be absolutely deadly in the right circumstances, and Joe is an excellent setup for both of those. Especially on these tight objectives, if you even get a blaze bunker in one of the doors, you can't escape from that door, and that is going to be pain. But no, we see a Nova ban coming out for the third ban. Not what I was expecting by any means, but I like interesting bans because I very much wonder, why is that the ban? But right, what do we have picked up next? I imagine we'll see a tank and another damage picked up by Roll1 Esports. There's Leoric. Actually, no, we get the off lane and the tank. Okay, Mirrodin tank, Leoric off lane. I like the Leoric into Blaze. It's actually one of the more annoying ones. Yeah, it's one of the more annoying ones for Blaze to go into because you're such a healthy offlaner. And the drain build, the drain from Leoric on that W can just do so much quickly to Blaze, especially helping Leoric stay in the fight for just that bit longer. But we do have one last pick up for the side of Roll1 Esports. His Junkrat and Jaina were picked up by the side of Bork, side of the moon. So where are we going with this? And Chromie to round out the composition. I do like Chromie. It is like one of the first characters I got fully into. It's one of my higher level characters. Also, Hierarchy is indeed me a line bus, or the line bus. But let's see where we go from here, as we are just counting down to the game now. So I will roll the opening reel, and I'll see you guys, hopefully, if I time this correctly, on the other side of the draft.
Oh, a swap. Oh no, but a swap followed by a light
Lead in
bulb.
here. 4-man mosh pit followed by a tomb. Oh no!
Oh, a huge light bomb coming in on the Genji, and that's a 5-man light bomb. They're going to follow up, and they're going to get 1, 2, 3 kills.
And it's gonna be everybody dying. Oh my god, when does this happen? Everybody's dead.
Of course, the game takes slightly longer to load than you think it would. Oh, so now we're just going to be staring at this loading screen as everyone's loading in. And there we go. I should have really waited that 5 extra seconds it takes to count down, huh? So, on the side of Roll1 Esports, we have R1E. Oh, I should really just not say the R1E, because we all know what that means, but we see Johnny Eber on the Stukov, Mongoose is on the Leoric, Velvet on Lunara, Poe is on Chromie, and Rock Your W is on the Muradin. On the other side, we have Yatre on the Blaze, Matlock on Joanna, Silver Spy is on Anduin, Akari is on Junkrat, and Bacon rounding out the comp on Jaina. There we go. Good luck, have fun to being thrown out, and let's see where the series goes, as I believe it should be a good one. Right. We're going to get a little scuffle at first. Rock Your W's, well, jump is easy. He doesn't really get to go far. Does at least scout the trap so they know where not to step. Leoric and Blaze already, like, leaving after that initial scuffle. We can see Leoric does get the creepy hand onto Blaze, and Blaze just leaving. Rock Your W pushed into tower reach, but does use that jump to get on out. And actually, we see a rotation coming up onto Mongoose. Mongoose is maybe going, I don't want to be here, actually. Uses Wraith Walk, gets out before the gank can effectively go on them. Meanwhile, we do see Muradin is here, ready to slow rotations. Hits Matlock with a hammer and walks immediately into a Junkrat trap. And we do actually see they lost a lot of their health for that simple kind of walk into a trap, because there's a Muradin losing over half their health in just a few seconds at level 1, 2 no less. Not ideal, but not the end of the world. You did at least live. And now we just see safe soak happening by both Poe and Akari. Just they're not quite wanting to full commit. Meanwhile, Rock Your W and Matt Lockhead trying to A, get the soak mid, but B, try to deny the other one that soak. But unfortunately, it is a Joanna. Joanna can just kind of walk straight past you no matter who you are. And if worst comes to worst, they pop their trait, pop that Iron Skin, and just book it. You're like, nah, I'm out. Peace. Let's pull up talents while we're actually here, because, well, we're just getting scuffles. Also, we do have Velvet and Joanna from Roll1 Esports already starting their Bruiser camp. So that may be a little bit of camp and experience advantage going out to the side of Roll1 Esports soon enough. But we see Poe is running. Did time trap both Silver Spy and Bacon. However, it does get to live because of that, despite Bacon and Silver Spy making it on top of Poe in time. The level 4s are now through for both teams, and Bork side of the moon actually has control of the objective, so Roll1 Esports are going to have to actually keep an eye on this middle Dragon Knight. They don't want to quite give it, but it looks like they are considering going up and helping Leoric, as that's the easier place for them to push into currently. In terms of quests, let's have a look at things. We have Deep Breathing by Chromie, so stacking that Dragon's Breath. We have that all too difficult to complete Muradin baseline Stormbolt quest. Don't know how he's ever going to complete that. Otherwise, Fingers of Frost and Jaina, as well as their standard Frostbite. And last and certainly not least is Subdue from Joanna. That 80% slow just can do so much, and you don't even need that quest completed to get those full benefits. You at least get, if you hit 80% slow is insane. But now we can see the objective is over to the side of Roll1 Esports, and is Johnny able to control it in time? And yes, we can see Dragon Knight does indeed go over to the side of Roll1 Esports to start. Meanwhile, they know this camp is up. There's not much we can do to invade it, as we do see that the healer is in the objective. You're not really wanting to take a camp fight without your healer. That would be just a little bit dumb, to say the least. Silver Spy is getting peppered down slowly with a little bit of poison. We see Akari being chased by a dragon up to their gate, but nope, the dragon just feels like breathing fire at it. Not quite going to full commit with it. But I do like that we have a Dragon Knight pushing one lane, and there's always just two pushing another lane, well, defending camp in another lane, I guess, and Muradin is just trying to push mid as well. But looks like they're going to go push with the Dragon Knight. It's Dragon Knight is really just kind of running in circles, not able to get too much damage outside of their intermittent Qs. But we can see even those Qs are still working out pretty well, but nope, that is objective over, and yeah, it wasn't really too much found. Not even a top. We see top tower of mid going down, but that's about it. Meanwhile, Velvet and Mongoose is getting a decent push into Yatre. Yatre actually has almost lost their whole gate at this point. Barely going to hold on to the top tower, but lost the bottom and the actual gate itself. And Muradin is getting blinded for the efforts of being up there. Velvet having to back up, and Velvet did indeed go choking Poland as a side note. And actually they went... Oh, what's the talent called again? Nature's Culling. I nearly call it Nature's Toxin again, as I've messed it up quite a few times recently, but I really should have figured it out after the amount of flack I was giving a certain team. Which, I'll not name them now, they know who they are. We see Junkrat trying to push up on a Poe, doesn't quite hit their mines. Rock Your W does walk into a trap, so it's going to be slowed down a little bit and hits a nice hammer onto the Matlock, taking a decent amount of their health for a Joanna. Silver Spy also just getting a little bit chunked by Velvet's Q there. How's the fight going, top? Mongoose and Yatre sure are fighting. Oh, we see double soak coming out from Blaze. I do like the little bit of flexibility there, but we do see a fight coming down here. Rock Your W does need to use jump to get out. Blaze is there for a stun. Does hit onto Muradin. Muradin did go wind up to do a hammer toss by the looks of it. Choco out that Stormbolt, but no, nothing was quite found there. Objects is up in another 15 seconds. All the while, Mongoose is just pushing into fort. They're like, actually, this building, it is mine. All your base are belong to us. Is that the infamous bad translation of the game? Can't recall exactly, but we do see heroics are actually picked up at the same time. No kills yet. Everyone's been soaking their lanes. Relatively kind of safe. So starting with Roll1 Esports, we see Avatar Muradin. We see Entomb on the Leoric. Slowing Sands Chromie. Leaping Strikes Lunara. And Flailing Swipes on the, I nearly called it Chromie, Stukov. And on the other side we have Light Bomb Anduin. We don't have Falling Sword on Joe, but instead we have Blessed Shield. So we're not going to see that Light Bomb Falling Sword combo. But it is what it is. Then we have Ring of Frost Jaina. Bunker Drop Blaze, and last and certainly not least, it is Rip Tire on the Rubbish Rodent. Right, objectives, one over to the side of Roll1 Esports, one over Bork's side of the moon. But all just gonna poke against each other. And that will be, well, pretty safe way. But getting back into it, we do see Mongoose is really pushing as hard as they can mid. Yatre not quite keeping up with it. But we do now see that there is going to be a rotation up onto Mongoose. And actually Junkrat went down bottom. The poor Rubbish Rodent is dead. Mongoose is just sitting by objective wanting it. Anduin scouts him out. So Mongoose won't be able to actually cap it. And we do see Matlock is stepping onto top, that Joanna taking top away. Is Lunara really a blonde? Where is she? It's white. It's white on that skin. A little bit of green there. I don't know if I'd call it blonde, though. But we do now see that Mongoose has capped top again. All the while, bottom went down as, well, the four-man of Roll1 Esports was just pushing bottom four to Bork side of the moon the whole time. So that's actually the first structure of the game actually going down. 7 minutes into, well, as I say, Dragon Shark game. That Dragon Knight barely got off in time. Mongoose barely got in DK, and that will be it going over to Roll1 Esports, despite, honestly, I thought they were interrupted. I forgot to do a poll. Not a poll. A prediction. I knew I was forgetting something. I'm not used to having these extra buttons. I'm like, I can do it, but I'm just dumb and forgetful. We do see Junkrat does actually get himself out of dodge, uses that concussion mine to do so. Meanwhile, Dragon Knight pushing top, and that will make it much... Blonde Scott is 8. Okay, you're right. They are. Everyone except Lunara's blonde. Lunara's not even on the side of Bork. No, I've just understood your message. I've just understood your message, and I'm feeling a little bit dumb right now, and I'm going to be honest. But we do see that it is Bork's side moon now pushing... Yes, Raka, I have now realized that, but I do now realize that it's on a delay, so I'm just a bit dumb today. But we do now see Anduin does get a lot of ults put on top of their head. Lunara getting those those leaping strikes onto them, but that will still be Anduin going down just a bit too much damage being pumped into them. Mongoose staying on top of Matlock. Matlock will be next to go down. Jaina still able to get into the bunker despite being silenced. Yatre getting a decent stun, stopping 3 members of the side of Bork side of Moon getting on top of him, and that is Bacon getting to live somewhere without bunker. They probably would not have been able to live. And I realized, I even said it and I'm clarifying it again. I am not a bright boy. I am in fact a bit of a himbo sometimes. But we do have now Roll1 Esports pushing into yet another building of Bork Side of Moon. Bork Side of Moon seeming a little bit less confident on this map than typically you see them. I don't know if it's because of kind of what they're running. They seem to get everything they want, unless that Hunter was kind of a major linchpin in what they're wanting, and we saw the Junkrat as a pickup. She's like, actually, if I can't play one Overwatch hero, I'll play another at least. And once again, Rock Your W walks into a Junkrat trap.
Another chance to prove yourself worthy. Do not squander it.
Getting safe play. Actually, I was going to say getting safe play from both teams, but no, we see Rock Your W is a bit of danger. Does use that jump to get out. Maclock tries to hit him shield, somehow misses them and hits the Chromie instead, ending up hitting the Muradin, which I guess kind of worked out, but unfortunately no kill came from it. And we do see bottom tower being going down. Rocky W, considering getting that mid-soak, then realizes that's 4 people there. Does dodge both the Q from Jaina and the blind from Matlock on the Joe. But nope, we do now see both objectives once again are going over. It is for me, Anna. But we do now see the objectives are going over to the side of Roll1 Esports. They do just have to cap it, but this time they're far more onto Mongoose, not letting them to get away with one like that again. As we see those chattering teeth traps are being thrown out by Junkrat as much as possible. Mongoose, just eat the trap. There we go. Matlock still is in position to get on top of him, but we do see that there is that Lunara level 1 eye talent. Sentinel Whisper is just letting them see everything that's happening here. But no, we just see now that Roll1 Esports has backed up a bit. They're going, okay, if you want to watch that so closely, we'll go do things elsewhere. That's a you issue now. And we do see that Mongoose was getting the soak. Meanwhile, Blaze snuck past him, is starting to convert top. And that removes a lot of pressure from the side of Bork Side of the Moon, at least for a moment. Nice swipe by Mongoose. Will they get the creepy hand onto Yatre? Nope. Oh, they get Entomb out. Yatre spinning around in circles. Does drop Bunker in almost panic to get out. And that will actually, however, there would still be a Blaze going down as Velvet jumps over the wall to land directly on the objective and start pushing up. I don't know if it's exactly a compliment or an insult, either way. We do see Rocky W does jump onto Silver Spy. Silver Spy being getting a nice double light bomb. However, it is still an Anduin awkward position. We do see Rocky W getting hammer onto them. And once again, that is Anduin going down. Just, it's a very good level coordination on the kill there from Bork Side of the Moon. From Roll1 Esports, rather, sorry. Bork Side of the Moon was the one who lost the healer. So we now have a 12-minute objective pushing into the side of My god, I'm just messing up the names tonight. But there's even R1E in their names. I really should not be messing this up as much as I am. But we can now see Dragonite is just slowly pushing into the forts with that fire to start with. And once they feel like it's finally, they've tested the waters enough, they go up to hit that tower. They go to kick Joe, who I didn't think would have been close enough, but did manage to bop Matlock on the head and kick the Joanna to Kingdom Come somehow through the gate. Dragonite is just trying to tear through a building. We see Yatre is being kicked by the Dragonite, all about 2 feet, just to go down in just a short time. Matlock does get light bomb with him, hitting both Mongoose and Rocky W. Rocky W actually taking a decent amount of damage. Even in Avatar form, they are at a third health, a quarter health even, but they do get to hold on. That Muradin jump does so much to keep them alive. Bacon chasing down, seeing what slows to get. R1E Poe does get hit by the W Matlock, but is kind of stopped a bit more by Muradin, getting that nice hammer on them. We do see the Yatre does get the stun onto Mongoose. There's a big fight coming out. However, Junkrat, bit anti-synergistic, pushes everyone to safety. Because we do now see that there is a good disengage from both teams not wanting to go down. Right, we see Mongoose is going back to soaking, as the old offlaner can or must do. Top wave is being pushed onto by Yatre. Mongoose looks like they want to meet him there. Sees 2, goes, maybe I just stay mounted and get the soak behind it. Roll1 Esports now looking to steal the camp of Bork Side of the Moon. They're wanting this siege, and they actually can get it pretty quick thanks to that natural, whatever it's called, I can't remember. But we do see a lot of damage coming out. R1 here, Januba is actually going to be taking the brunt of the damage here and will go down. That is a Stukov kill. However, we do see the return kill onto Blaze in process. However, keep in mind that Roll1 does not have any healer. That doesn't matter. That's 3 kills now. Over 4 kills now over the side of Roll1 Esports as Junkrat just gets out of dodge. Goes, nah, I'm out. Not me. We see a dodge by Akari. However, rewind is found by Muradin. Neither hammer hitting its target, but Akari will still go down to the auto attacks on Muradin, as that is a 5-man kill onto Bork Side of Moon. And I believe we'll probably just get an end call here from Roll1 Esports. They had their Storm talents. They had the kills. They don't have a healer, but they have tenacity. And that is the core swiftly going down. 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Done. And that is the first game of the series, going over to the side of Roll1 Esports. GG call by both sides. Let me swap it over to the game summary screen. Right. It's taking its time. We're waiting for game results, which we know how it went. Wow, look at this. They've all done 0 damage, 0 healing, 0 siege? If I change the talent to... I don't know what has happened here, but apparently it's decided that no, neither team has done anything this game. Neither team's done anything. Neither team had any talents. I can't even see what each team had decided to pick. So that's fun. This means nothing for screen to me. Like, look at this. This is ridiculous. Is this a known bug? Rocket! Is this a known bug? Zeros. Look at all of those zeros, man. Oh, we can see that Roll1 Esports and the side of Bork Side of Moon had exactly equal soak, so good work for those teams getting that going. Very short game, actually. Managed to complete it as fast as possible. New NGS shortest game time, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I've ever seen a game match go 0 minutes and 0 seconds before. However, no, as we know, Roll1 Esports did at least take map 1. I don't know quite where we're going yet for map 2. I haven't seen any pings about it in the chat yet. I'm going to click Roll1 Esports on that map before I forget. Just because there is nothing, from this chat that I can get. But yes, we are correct. It is indeed a small indie company. Not much you can really do about these sorts of bugs. Especially when you don't have a development team. Right, let's just throw it over to map view screen while we're waiting. Right. So, we see that Roll1 did indeed both pick and win that map 1, Dragonshire. Considering what's happening, I think Bork Side of the Moon is going to go map first pick again. They went first pick after coin toss, so I assume they're going to go first pick here as well. Which leads, of course, map pick to the side of Roll1 Esports. I wonder if we can just have a little insight maybe as to what we think they're going to pick. Let's have a look. So they're actually happy they got to play Dragonshires. They don't get it that much. So let's have a scroll down. Let's have a cheeky look, eh? Are they going to go Alterac Pass, maybe? Or Towers of Doom? I feel like it's either Alterac or... yes, predictions all for the next map, but I'll do that after the draft so everyone can see what they're going to do. So, it will be interesting. Might even show up in the corner. What? I don't know what you're on about, Rocker, I'm going to be honest. I stroke my beard in... I don't even know what that means, Raka, but do not abuse it. Do not abuse the power you have just found. I'm watching my screen now just to see what you're actually on about. I do not see anything popping up. Nice. Rucker was so happy with what was happening there, but nope. Not quite gonna get that, are we? Right, we're taking a little bit of it next game. What is the lobby, friends? I think there is going to be there's a few discussions I think that are happening. So I'm just scrolling down. Let's see if anyone's in a lobby already or in a game, because that's probably the best way to find out. Just go down to the R1, so that's where it's probably easier to see people. Oh, they're not in here. That doesn't help. Oh, yeah, they're available. Oh, that's not the game I want. That's another match entirely. Let's not click on that one. As much as I want to do a Tomb of the Spider Queen game, it doesn't look like it's that yet, at least. No, I know you well, Rocket. That's why I say do not abuse. I know full well what you are capable of doing. Right. What I may do while we're waiting for the next break map, actually, is I'll throw it to a quick break. I may just put on some music and leave it on the screen for now, and you'll basically see... Never mind. There it is. We see the map. I was going to say quick break, but nope, they decided to pick right as I was saying it. Good old, it's always going to happen as I am calling that, isn't it? And we actually don't have a Dragon Shire second time. I misclicked that. We have Battlefield of Eternity. Not something you see very often. And I think, actually, it was Bork Side of a Moon choosing that pick. I may just confirm that. I don't even know if that picks up. But yes, right, we do have this map. Right. When we are just waiting for the side of Bork Side of the Moon just to trickle in. So let me just confirm. Whether Bork did map pick. Respond to me. Yeah, cool. Indeed, we do have Bork doing map. So, I actually don't know how this will go. I don't think I've seen these teams play this all that much. I don't at least remember casting the map where this has happened, but we did get a yes indeed that it was Bork Side of the Moon taking it. And right, I'm just gonna lean back a bit. Wait patiently. I see an Iktar cheering on a goose. Such as the natural order of life. Have a good night, Anna. I hope you're doing well. I hope you have a good evening, I guess I should say. But no, there's unfortunately not going to be a Braxis, unfortunately, Raka, as Braxis was banned out by Roll1 in that second ban slot, as you can see. I am twiddling my thumbs in anticipation for people to appear, but let's actually have a look. You know what? We can have a look. Let's have a look. Let's just open up both the teams' heroes' profile pages. Let's do a quick comparison. How is each of their Infernal Battlefield of Eternity? Even now, Infernal Shrines are on my mind. I am just like, I see Diablo map. I'm like, no, not that. No, I don't want to deal with that. It looks like both teams have a 100% win rate on Battlefield of Eternity. So this should be a good old, burner, as we're going to have one team with one game played on it, which they won, and the other team playing 2 games on it, which they won. So I guess it'll be a hopefully dead even game, and hopefully we get everyone in here soon enough. Because man, we're just burning for time. Oh, we're nearly there. Just one more person we're waiting for. And it's not me. I'm not the slow one. Which, in all honesty, it could be. It probably would be me like 90% of the time if I was the one playing. Because I know a little person called Born to Shine. She is she's a good friend, but she does call me the problem child for a very good reason. Also going to note, we do have a substitution. We do have Zad coming in for Velvet this map, so a little bit of a difference there. But right, I'm just going to say that I'm ready. Now that everyone is kind of in the lobby. And let's see what happens and how long this takes. Hopefully not all that long. Right. Looks like one team is ready. And the next one. I'm in the wrong screen entirely. That's why I'm struggling, as I need this one. Okay, we now have one extra person. We have a substitution by the looks of it as well for what? That's technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. This is taking a bit longer than I thought it would, which is interesting. But no, it looks like there was a substitution, and we can actually see that there was Silver Spy swapped out for Tin. But right, let's see if both teams are ready, because I still am. Just gonna reconfirm that I am ready. But I know what is going to be banned now. And I think anyone who knows what Tin plays will probably see this ban coming from a mile away. But I guess we'll wait and see if that is the case. Or whether they're going to just not ban it, and that will probably make the happiest Tin in the universe. Okay. One day I'll just get something that's just the lobby chat. But I am a little bit lazy and not wanting to do that. But it looks like Hat is on the right person. I now twiddle my thumbs in anticipation yet again. I just want to see AV just for them. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that means. I am lost. We're just getting silence. It's gonna hunch forward a little bit. Just wait, patient. Part of me is ready just to pull Hearthstone up on there and just play that while we wait. But it does look like now both teams are ready, from my understanding. So hopefully we get a count in and we can change it over in just a few moments. Yep, there's a countdown. 3, 2, 1. The game lobby custom game decides to take its time, so we just again nearly there. I swear we'll have a draft for you guys soon enough. Please, game. Hello. There we go. Battlefield of Eternity. Let's go. So, as we said, we did have map pick by Bork, Sun and Moon. So, Roll1 Esports is the ones now who are going to be controlling the series as to say the least. They're going to have first pick. Also, it's a bit hard to entertain when you have... I'm not the best entertainer, and it also gets much harder to interact with the chat when there is a 30-second delay. And no surprises, we do have a Phoenix ban. Tin is notorious for being a Phoenix player. It is their main kind of hero they play. So honestly, not the most unexpected ban happening right there. We see ETC is banned to return, so we're once again seeing that tank same tank being banned out, albeit it was a Nubrak first last time. We see Sylvanas now banned out. Expected, not outside of realm possibility. Are we going to see a Nubrak ban again? Is my next question. There it is. So, first pick, what do you choose if you are Roll1? Are you picking up Healer, which is usually the safe first pick, or are you actually picking up Hogger this time? I do know Hogger is something that I believe I saw Zad play against Greg as well when I was going back over that replay. That is something that definitely does come to mind. And we do see Hanzo and Diablo picked up by Bork Side of Moon, both very strong heroes in this map. Hanzo in particular, very good for race on the Immortal. Burn on the Immortal? Race on the Immortal? Yeah. Either way, if we see Stukov picked up once again, pretty safe pick. And what do we see next? Are we going to see a damage dealer, or are we going to see a tank, considering what's happening? And actually we see Chromie from Poe once again. Next ban, final ban for the side of Bork Side of Moon. Still no tanks picked up, so you can ban out that. You can go, actually, no Muradin, get out of here. Similarly, on the other side, there's no healer picked up, so we can get rid of healer, we can get rid of offlane. There's still quite a few choices up for what is going to be banned out. And it's Tychus banned. I guess you're getting rid of one of those major players that does well into Diablo, albeit you think it wouldn't be exactly picked on this map just because he's not known for his elite. What? I don't even know what they class it as. Monster burn? That sounds bad. They don't really... Tychus doesn't have that race potential on the Immortal that other heroes do. We just see Anduin is banned next. For Banduin. I hate that I made that joke on a stream. Alright, next picks. What are we going to get from Bork's Side of the Moon? Just slowly ticking down. 2. Well, Brightwing and Sonya. Okay, I was surprised we... Wait, Bacon's on the healer this time. I guess Silver Spy was the one who was rotated out, so that does make sense. There does need to be a different healer if the person who was healing last map is gone. But in saying that, Mongoose... Are we going to see Tracer? I know Mongoose does like Tracer. Let's go, Mongoose. What you got? What you got? What have you got? Show us. Show me what you got. Joanna picked up, and Raynor. Jimmy Raynor is the last one picked up from the side of Roll1 Esports. And what's going to be the last thing from the side of Bork Side of the Moon? They've got a few damage options open still. Vala, I'm surprised, is still up. And I know Tin... Or Greymane. I've seen Tin play Greymane before as well. That's also a very strong pick from them. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue. Nazebo. I imagine we're going to see Spider Build. Spider Build actually does pretty well on this map. It's pretty good race, Immortal race in general. Are we going to get any swaps? Not yet, at least. But yeah, I don't know how well the side of Roll1 Esports can kill Diablo. I think it may just be very much ignore Diablo, go for the rest. But race, I think, should also be in favor of Bork Side of Moon. But if there's a good team fight with a poke, it may be in favor of Roll1 Esports. But right, let me roll the reel and we'll get into the map in just a few moments.
Oh, a swap. Oh no, but a swap followed by a light bomb.
4-man mosh pit followed by a tomb. Oh no!
Oh, here's Light Bomb coming in on the Genji, and that's a 5-man Light Bomb. They're going to follow up, and they're going to get 1, 2, 3 kills.
And it's going to be everybody dying. Oh my god, when does this happen? Everybody's dead.
My game always takes 10 years to load. Well, actually, I guess it's someone in here who's taking 10 years to load. It may still be me, actually, because I am a spectator. It may make things longer. But it's not me. My bar is full before others. Confirmed, not my fault. Anyway, let's start with the side of Bork Side of Moon this time. We see Matlock on the Diablo. Yatre is on the Sonya. Tin on Nazebo. Ikari is on Hanzo. And Bacon on Brightwing to round out that comp. On the other side, we have Zad on the Hogger. Mongoose is on Raynor. Janiba is on a very spider-based Stukov by the looks of it. Rock Your W is on the Joanna, and Poe is rounding it out with the Chromie. And hopefully I'm not muted because it looks like everything should be working, but hey, sometimes we mess up. So it'll be an interesting top lane battle. Both heroes like to spin a lot and do a decent amount of damage to both. Thank you for saying word for predict. Thank you for saying word predict. Start a prediction. Start prediction. What team will win? Ah! I got it here. This is going to be like the most rushed one. What's the other team called? Bork. 1 minute. This. No! It's difficult. I'm so bad at this. Got it. There you go. You can bet now. Have fun. But now that we're actually into it, let me talk about the teams, as it should be a pretty good team fight between both teams. And that, well, both teams have pretty good race. But I believe it may go over to the side of Bork, side of Moon, especially once fours come in. Because we do see Hanzo is going that W build. It is quite a common W build at that. We do see Serrated Arrows does that bonus damage to things such as Immortal. Interesting to see that Raynor did not go Exterminator. Exterminator usually a pretty common pickup on this map, as it does let Raynor absolutely shred the Immortal. So I'd say race is definitely in favor of Bork, side of Moon. However, there is no guarantee that will be the case, as if you just kill someone, that person can't do anything. And I think that may be Mongoose's intention here. Alright, in other talents we have Deep Breathing once again for Chromie. We have that Simple Geometry Hanzo. Soulstone on Diablo, as always, does just exist. Otherwise, we have Spiders Nazebo with that baseline Voodoo Ritual. And we see the Joanna getting pushed into tower range, but did have Iron Skin. Just clicked. And I do have a delay running. I don't know if that did affect it. I'll keep that in mind for next time. I'll actually raise the timer for next time, because I guess you hear me. And then it comes in 30 seconds later, and then it's basically over by then. So I'll keep that in mind for the next time I run predictions. That's good. That's a good thing to know. It's all a learning experience sometimes, especially when you got buttons now you're not used to. But we do see Bruiser Camp is going to come out pretty quickly for the side of Bork, side of the Moon. And there's the one done for Roll1. Right. Zed is doing this. They can. They walk into spider range, giving us a few little extra ticks on the Nazebo Q. And 10 finds Poe. Does drop spiders into Hourglass, which is an easy way to get hiccups spiders out. Not hiccups, I just have hiccups, so sometimes it happens, which woof. And we can see, yeah, this Immortal is going down fast actually for red side currently. We see Joanna is running for the hills, trying to get out of dodge. And we can see it. Oh my gosh, Rock Your W does actually get to hold on. That Q spread by Stukov in time, and they get to live. But Race does go over for, at first, at least, to the side of Roll1 Esports for that first half. We can see now that the side of Bork, side of Moon are going to aggress for that. We see John Eva is flipped by Matlock, however, the Immortal shoves him back out immediately. So, actually, probably the better one of the better timings to get by that. We can see Tin gets phase shifted onto by the Brightwing. Zad has to back out, but keep in mind, Tin very low on mana. I don't even know if they have enough to put out spiders. We can see Mongoose getting very low and will actually go down to the Hanzo Scatter. Rock Your W now also in danger, just backpedaling as much as possible. Nice Q by Zad, keep him alive. But they did have Iron Skin, so either way, it would have been a living Joe. But I guess the peel is always appreciated from your offlaner. Zad stepping in. Tin now has enough mana to at least cast one or two abilities. Zad using a little bit of a spin, not quite getting out. Does hit Matlock into a wall, and now we have true race going on. Zad does get slapped in the butt by the Immortal. Belif is doing work today. But the first Immortal will go over to the side of Roll1 Esports. Okay, what is the bets between the two? Let's have a look. I can't actually see. Who predicted what? How do I find out? But we do see Immortal is coming top. And this should be a fun little... Man, if a person who bet, people who bet on Bork get their points here, that's going to be a decent amount they get. But we do now see that the side of Roll1 Esports is going to find the Brightwing already. That is a dead little fairy dragon. Unfortunate for those Brightwing lovers in the chat. But we do now see Immortal is going to be pushing onto the fort. Matlock taking a decent amount. 10 actually is pretty low, but no, we do see that it is going to be Hogger going down in the bot lane. However, it looks like this building will also fall as well. So sure, you lost a hero in the process, but you at least took their building. One less fountain around, and that is one less place of safety for the side of Bork side of the moon. Yatre is now pushing into the fort of Roll1. Getting those slams out. Go. Go, Sonya. Take that tower. Yeah. Hogger tries to get combo onto Yatre, but doesn't quite do so. Meanwhile, we are going to have a fight stepping out. Matlock taking a decent amount of damage so far. Rock your W. Getting all 5 of those spiders on top of them. Not quite what you need if you're Rock your W. And 10, as we can see, hasn't even completed their level 1 quest, but it's already doing a lot of damage with just those 5 spiders alone. Sonya now in a little bit of awkward situation. Does look like Poe just happened to not even see her there. Meanwhile, we can see Zad is doing camp bottom. I don't know if the side of Bork side of Moon will get there in time, because Hogger is pretty good at taking camps by themselves, as we see there. We did see that Yatre was getting pretty close, but no cigar. Unfortunately, stun does miss. However, Rock Your W stun will not. Yatre now awkward situation. Does get hit by one of the slowing sands of Chromie. Barely holds on. Not much health left at all, but the phase shift will keep the Sonya up, and Sonya gets to fight another day. Alright, keep in mind, Chromie has finished their deep breathing at this point, while both Nazebo and Hanzo are still getting their quest. We see Matlock is just slapped back a little bit by the Q of Zad. That Hogger Q does a lot to interrupt people. It can actually get very annoying as time goes along, as everyone who's played a tank is probably aware that displacement is not fun to go into if you are a tank. Right, race is now being started by the side of Roll1 Esports, as we get slow slaps coming up from Stukov, but we do have faster shooting for everyone else. 10's through first for the side of Bork side of the moon. Keep in mind this Hunter was actually banned last map. I'm interested why they didn't ban it again this one. I guess that is a question we can ask later. But heroics are now found for both teams, and it does look like Bork side of the moon will be getting through that Immortal very quickly. And this is a very even Immortal phase now. Zad does back out. They do get a little bounce out, meaning they're not going to quite go down. And now we see both Angels ready to be raced. We do see Tin immediately burning at those spiders, actually doing alone a lot of damage. Joanna trying to slow down the rest of the side of Bork side of the moon. Did a decent job. They did a well enough job to mean that Roll1 Esports won the race there. Nice Horde Pulp by Hogger going into the backline. We see Akari does a little flip over the Horde, but doesn't quite find anything else. And stun combo is found on both John Eber and Poe. So that is Brightwing going down. That is Stukov going down. And this is now what was good for the side of Roll1 Esports is less than ideal, to say the least. We see Zad roll straight into a wall, and that will be that fight over with actually now what could have been a very good push by the side of Roll1 Esports is now going to be very difficult. But let's have a look at those, heroics, as I did have them up. We do see Blessed Shield Joanna. We see Massive Shove Stukov, Hyperion Raynor, Hortipult Hogger, and Slowing Sands Chromie, who has just gone there, level 13 in quotation marks now. On the other side, we have Apocalypse, Diablo, Blinkheal, Brightwing, Dragon Arrow Hanzo, Leap Sonya, and Gargantuan. Yeah, Gargantuan on Nazebo Mike. It's Humongoid. No, Humongoid is the level 20 Storm Talent upgrade. We can see Sombra? That's just a different game altogether. Sonya is taking the Bruiser camp. Zad is taking the top Siege camp. Has pushed these boys into a little bit of an awkward position, but we'll still take it down here. Well, we can see the side of Roll1 East, Bork side of the moon is now pushing onto this mid camp. And actually, Sonya was forced off the Bruiser camp by the side of Roll1. Bork side having to give their own Bruiser just because of the aggressive invade by Droneba, Mongoose, and Rock Your W. Which I know is Rock Your World, but it does say Rock Your W here, so I'm going to have to accept it as is. It's like horse racing. Try to get the name right, but if you don't, that person gets some money. But no, I'm not giving anyone money. Right, Zad is going to see if they can interrupt Sonya. Sonya does have leap up. Keep in mind, they may be looking for backline here. Nice roll onto Yatre. Yatre trying to get the spin back onto Rocky W and Zad. However, that is just a disengage called by Roll1 Esports, as there's a good defense by Bork side of the moon. Are we going to get a fight coming up? Not quite. Hogger does use his Q. It did come up a bit short. We do see that burning trash go out. Zad is now about to take a decent amount of damage and actually give Tin the quest complete they required. We see Hog spinning on out, and actually with those spiders alone, you can see how much health was dropped onto Zad, and even Poe. Look at their health just get whittled down by those spiders. And this is why now we need a... This is where the fight, the burn really comes in Bork side, but we see a nice double stun combo. However, Apoc just a little bit later than the rest, but we can see Mongoose is the one going down the backline. Meanwhile, Bacon and everyone over here is relatively low. Janiba with her spiders on them. Rocky W doing the best to keep the side of Bork side of Moon from killing theirs, but that will be them going down to the spiders. Janiba now gets pestered by them, will get relatively low as well. Tin gets stopped in time trap. We see Matlock pushes Zad into the zombie wall, and that will now be Zad going down. So now that this quest is online, 10s and 13s are through. The momentum has shifted. Bork side of the moon is now looking to be in a very comfortable position compared to that early to mid game. Or early to early mid game. But those heroics have seemed to change the playing field, so to speak. Matlock getting a little bit aggressive. They know they haven't done a while. They still have Soul Shield up. Soul Stone up. Tin taking a decent amount of damage, but what Blink heal, Brightwing does heal it back up. Hyperion dropped directly on top of it. Not quite going to do the damage I think they wanted. We can see charge coming out to Joanna. Joanna pops Iron Skin, and that'll be that objective going over the side of Bork's side of the moon. We see Blind coming out, hitting just Matlock. Matlock apparently gets a little bit of pocket sand in his eyes, not wanting to do anything, go anywhere. Who'd off message me? Right, I can see what's happening. Going up top. Right, we do see now that is the Immortal pushing into Roll1 Esports, and this can be the first structure for Bork side of the moon this series. As we can see, these these towers are going down pretty quick. Matlock gets pushed out by Mongoose. I wonder if Mongoose goes to percent damage at 16. I'd like to see it picked up. It will probably fix a decent amount of their problems with Diablo. Diablo doesn't really have that pressure onto him. Okay, if Stukov just does that every time, I guess Diablo can't do anything. CC'd with a big old push, but I do like a good CCing with damage. It's hard to do anything when your health is low, especially into things such as Raynor, Chromie, Nazebo, Hunt. I somehow think that was a misclick. I'm maybe not the brightest person in the world, but I think I can figure out when a misclick happens, and I think that one was definitely it. Now I can see Hogger is going to get invaded by Yatre. Yatre going, ooh, a little Hogger camp for me. As you can see, there's generally everyone converging down, and that's an awkward bounce from Zad. Unfortunately, Zad did give the camp. Maybe not on purpose, but it did at least let them keep me alive. As soon as Zebo did actually go for the full-on combo there. 16 advantage, by the way, is through for Bork side of Moon. It's not quite something that you're wanting to go into now if you are the side of Roll1 Esports. And we can see they backpedal to safety behind their gates, and it will keep them alive just that bit longer. But yeah, this damage is absolutely being pumped out now by Bork side of the Moon. Not ideal if you are R1. R1E? Yes, R1E. Let's go with that. Akari stepping up, gets a nice arrow onto Rocky W. Rocky W, maybe not happy with that. But 16's now through for both teams. Nice little scatter, getting a little bit of extra damage there. And both teams will now be doing their Bruiser camp, as is tradition just before objective, just because you do want that camp pushing with these waves. Keep in mind, there is still a structure advantage over to the side of Roll1 Esports. They do still have bottom 4 up. They do have that tap there if needed. But I don't know how necessarily how that is going to happen coming here. But I do see an invade coming out, 2 people up top. Zad staying on the objective this time, and this is actually not a position you want to be if you are Bork side of the Moon, as they lose both Brightwing and Sonya in just that short moment. And now this is maybe not the safest place to be if you're Bork side of the Moon, but you still have 2 very good races up. They're amazing at burning for that mortal. As we can see, they're already at halfway. by the time the side of Roll1 can even swarm around the Bork side of the Moon Immortal. They probably do need someone to kind of make sure they don't get too much race off. We do see Akari does drop out the arrow. Sonic arrow not quite getting all the way there, but we can see 10 now also taking the safe rotate, and that will be a pretty safe standard play by Bork side of the Moon. It's no use losing anyone now. You don't want to throw that way. Just play safe, wait till you have 5, and then you can kind of remuster your strength and defend the... Is it Alarian? You can... Either way, you can defend that Angelic Immortal here. I don't know what... I know what Belith is. I remember Belith's name. I can't remember this one. Does it say? It just says Immortal. That doesn't help me. Right, let's zoom back out. As we have 16s, everyone has enough time to see what's else. Let's zoom all the way out. Matlock is a bit above everyone else. I actually do wonder. Yep, we did actually get percent damage picked up by Raynor, which, in all honesty, was likely necessary in a Matlock. And Yatre is actually going to be going into vision thanks to Zad's trash fire there, I guess. I guess it's the best way to put it. Loot Horde is on fire. It's trash at that point. There's no point really using any gear that's covered in fire. But we can see Immortal does take Bork side of the Moon's keep. You can see shield coming out. Nice quad stun from Rock Your W. And that's Vihanto going out first. Then that's 2 more found by Bork side of the Moon. 3 found. Yatre did use Leap in the backline. However, Apoc wasn't going to go off in time. They are chasing down. Yatre actually realized, wait a minute. There's a core there without any damage defending it. Let's just hit that. As we do have the side of Roll1 Esports going up to hit that. It is Alarian? Okay. Rock Your W is trying to zone out Yatre. We do see Zad is getting jumped onto by Matlock. Not quite as easy as the end of the last time, as there's still pretty beefy people who's going to try to stop you, but I don't know how well they can honestly do into all this damage coming through. Especially when you have things such as Chromie's Piercing Sands, which means you won't be able to stop it. That's 10% left on core, and that will likely be the game and the series. Going over to the side of Roll1 Esports. GG called by both sides. Well played, everyone. The froze, Ghost Chop says. Which is entirely understandable. That did definitely feel like it. Oh my gosh, we have stats. Let me just put it straight onto the game summary screen. I can't be bothered doing transition. There we go. We actually have stats to talk about this time, because we did actually see that for the early game, Roll1 Esports did have the lead. But then that mid-game, it looked very rough for them. Bork side of the Moon was mounting a comeback. But then the camp being invaded by the full 5-man when only 2 members of Bork side were there. And then that kind of final losing the 3 squishies made it all the more difficult for them. Alright, let me have a look. I'm going to put myself in I'm going to remember to unmute the Discord channel before I forget, because I'm going to chuck myself in a lobby and see if anyone's willing to join me, I suppose. It doesn't matter all that much. It isn't. Interviews aren't the most necessary of things. But in terms of stats, we can see that Hogger did get 100. Hogger and Sonya both very close. 1k difference between the two, more or less. Hero damage, also Hogger had the lead, but Nazebo and Hanzo were definitely creeping up there. Self-healing, that's not stat I care about. Soak, more in favor of Sonya, as Sonya was trying to keep it up there. And we can see kills were in favor of the side of Bork side of the Moon, who did actually have experience lead for a while, but just that 1 or 2 bad fights can really set kind of what happens with the game in the end. Which, unfortunately, that happened that way for them, but it does happen sometimes. Not too much you can do about it. Stats, anything that stand out. Talents, I mean, anything that stands out. Not in particular. This is all a relatively standard array, so to speak. Shieldware, 116 Joe, yep. Silent Stukov, yep. Raynor, yep. Yeah, I guess the thing that does stand out the most is Raynor not going Exterminator. I do wonder about that. I should actually ping Roll1 and see if they're willing to come in and have a chat with me. That's probably a better idea than just going, oh, hopefully someone turns up. If I'm bad at the interview things, and I do actually want to try get better at them, so that's why I'm going to still bring people in. And I'll throw it over to our map view screen, hoping someone appears soon enough. because we did see that it was a 2-0 at the end of the day. Roll1 Esports did. Oh, lobby 2, I'm being told. G'day, I didn't realize you're the one I was looking for here.
Hello.
Hello, how do you feel after that series?
Felt good. I was only in the first game, but
Ah,
yeah,
so
it felt
you're
good.
Velvet then?
Yeah, that's me. Yep.
Ah, yeah. So that first game, how was the team kind of feeling after that one? Pretty good first map, in all honesty. Kind of definitely had pretty good control over it for the most part. Maybe 1 or 2 hairy moments, but pretty good all up.
Yeah, team felt really confident, honestly, just because it was. That's one of our favorite maps. I don't know if it's our best statistically. I don't know, but it's one of our favorites just from a joy of playing. So we know how to run it back and forth and try to keep teams guessing where we're going. So it's fun.
Yeah, looks like you guys had up until this point 80% win rate on that map after 5 games. So yeah, definitely looking like one of its strongest. Tank tropes happening throughout that. How is your tank feeling just constantly having 2 heroes banned out against them off the bat? Are those 2 of you like better? They're more common tanks?
I mean, this season, yeah, they're more common, but like we played together for quite a while, so like every season is a new rendition, right? Like I've seen Rock, we've mained Garrosh an entire season, or we've run, a variety of things. So I don't know. I don't think Rock ever felt like pressured by it. Just this current season, Rock's really doing well with those 2 tanks, so I can see why teams were trying that out as a ban phase.
I guess it does depend on season to season. I'm just trying to figure that first game, because now apparently Dragonshy was so long ago in my mind, it's just like, it happened. Yeah, I really don't have too much to say on Dragonshy. It was definitely it felt like it was a map you're quite strong on. But that second map did feel quite a bit closer. How were you sitting in comms there, just muted at the end of it, or?
Yeah, I was watching the whole thing.
Yeah, because
on Rock's perspective, because he streams too. He streams his perspective. So.
Oh yeah, on Twitch, I assume.
Yeah. So I just didn't stay in their comms because we don't want to get accused of anything or anything like that. So I just dip out for that part and let them play, and that way I'm not tempted to say anything either. You know.
How did the team kind of feel? Because it was a decent start for you guys, but definitely it looked like once those spiders had come online, once Hanzo got those stacks, it seemed a lot scarier in terms of how that game was going to go as you reach that mid-game 10s. Kind of, do you know what the team was thinking at the time, or even what you were thinking as an observer?
Yeah, I mean, from listening to them and then from just knowing from playing with them for so long, a lot of the conversation was around grouping for stuns, and just they had a couple learning experiences with it, with like, hey, why does this keep happening? We keep getting caught in groups of 3 for the Hanzo arrow. And if you notice at the very end there, that didn't happen. They split up. Like Lasagna came in for a flank leap, and they split for it and just separated it out. It was good. They learned their lesson. So,
and props to Zad.
I really think that was what it was. Yeah,
Zad was very good on that scouting at the end. I don't think Sonya had a chance to even leap from out of vision, just because Zad did have that burning loot horde just sitting there at the side.
Yeah, I would actually say like one thing that our team has really grown on this, and you probably saw me doing this with the Wisp constantly too during the first game, is really learning to control vision, not just with a hero body. Like anything you can do to get vision on what the opponent's doing, you should be using it. And that's most of the tools we like drafting sometimes, I won't say always, but sometimes have that in their kit. So like the Nova ban was because Goose has been frequently doing stuff.
I see.
Cheeky vision stuff, and I mean, I think the team has 100% win rate with Nova this season. Knock on wood.
Oh, I've got to find that, Vin. I've got something to cast.
Yeah, it's pretty great. There's I think 5 games, maybe 6. I don't know. I don't remember the stats, but it's high. It's good.
Good. That's very interesting, though, and something that I guess people need to keep an eye out coming into the playoffs, which are actually only about a couple of weeks now, where if I recall. 3 weeks?
Yeah. I'm sure that our team captain has that lined up. I'm typically one of the subs for the team right now, so I don't always keep track of the schedule.
Right on. I probably should do a bit of effort keeping on track of that as well. But I guess how confident are you guys feeling coming up to it now? You guys are top seed, so are you feeling a bit like, oh, this is something we really have to do, or is there anything like, or are you guys actually going, we got this, this is really ours to take this season?
No, I would say neither. Our team has played together so long. We just kind of were, if we go far, we go far. If we get knocked out in the first round, it happens. There's definitely a little bit more like, hey, we could. Like, we're a good team. We're clicking on lots of things right now. There's at least 3 or 4 teams in the league that can easily 2-0 us, given the right circumstances.
I think
there's absolutely lots of teams that could do that.
It's always was, you never know what can happen, because even that mid game, again, that second game there, it looks like Bork Side of Moon could actually come back with a few things.
Absolutely. There's so many variables. At this point, it's just trying to remain consistent and have fun. That's part of the reason we've been playing together as a squad for so long is, we've gone to like last place in Div B all the way down to winning. I think we won one in Div C once. We've won a couple tournaments from outside of NGS and stuff. So, it's, the winning part of it, that's cool, but really we're here to play. And, that's the end of that is really not looking to, expecting to win. We're never expecting to get to the finals or anything like that.
Okay, that's probably one of the healthier mindsets you can have playing this game.
Yeah, well,
But,
I mean,
right.
it's a rock paper scissors game. There's so many things that can happen, and the other team can just pull an X factor out that you don't expect, or maybe your drafting that one day was weaker than it was normally, and things
happens with
can happen.
scouting. It really does depend.
Yeah, or like something like me popping in. They don't expect the sub to pop in, and suddenly they have like a different hero pool they have to deal with or something.
One day I'm going to pop in the season that's going to throw everyone off.
There you go.
Yep. So, any kind of last things you want to say? Any thanks or anything like that?
Thanks to my team for letting me pop in again for another game. It's always fun to join with them. Shout out to our sponsor, Osmo. Looking forward to playing again with you one day, buddy. Shout out to Kendo, one of our supporters, and to the rest of my team, and to our spouses and loved ones who support us by letting us take time away from our family to continue to do this.
Excellent. On that, I hope you have a good rest of your evening then.
Thank you, and you as well.
Cheers. Bye now. Right, so that was Velvet from... I've immediately messed up the name. I figure, oh well. That was Roll1 Esports, just going to have with your last few notes. But that will be it for me for at least this evening. So I'm going to go and talk to my loved one actually after this. So to everyone who is here, I wish you a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending where you are in the world, because time zones are weird. And I'll see you all in the Nexus, maybe one day, if I do actually ever end up playing my placement matches and getting it there. So, other than that, goodbye for now.